Earlier in this course, we touched on the term high key, which basically describes a contrast ratio with little to no shadows. In a lot of ways, beauty lighting embodies this idea to the max. With this sort of lighting, there is no shadows. The face is evenly lit from side to side. Well, up until this point, we've walked you through our approach to lighting for, creating a cinematic mood. And that just sort of stems from our work in music videos and feature films. Our sensibilities are more in line with sort of shadows and moods and contrasts. But you kind of have to abandon a lot of that when you're approaching beauty lighting. So how do you get this look, right? So the first step is placement. Placement of the lights is crucial for beauty lighting. Instead of having a key light from the left or a key light from the right, you need to place your lights right above and below your camera. We like to call this a clamshell because if you actually look at the setup from the side, it does sort of resemble the shape of a clam. I think the best way to explain how a clamshell works as a lighting setup is to compare it to a more traditionally lit cinematic lighting approach. So here's our first shot. We're keying our subject from the left, and this would typically be how you'd approach lighting a low-key, moody lighting approach with tons of shadows and contrast. And this would look great for a drama, but for beauty lighting, you want to light your subject without shadows. So that's where the placement of lights and the clamshell works really great, because instead of keying from the left and having shadows on the right, or vice versa, you're placing your lights on the same plane as your camera and your subject. Basically lighting the entire front half, eliminating all shadows. Not only that, but the combination of lighting from above and below, just fills your subject in with light. And the last thing you need to place is your camera. Don't forget when you're setting up the lighting, your top and the bottom elements of this clamshell to leave a little gap in the middle to where your camera and the lens can shoot your subject. Step 2 is dialing in the lights. You can see if we just played the top light in the clamshell, or just played the bottom light in the clamshell, it starts to create shadows on your subject's face. So you want to dial in the points of both the top and the bottom to taste, to where you feel like your subject is evenly lit. Something to consider as well is making your source as large as possible. We've touched on soft light earlier in this course in previous lectures, and essentially by making your source larger, it'll appear softer on your subject. And since this is beauty lighting, softer lighting is going to make your subject just look better. Step 3, camera beauty tricks. Once your lighting is set, there are a few things you can do with the camera to really make your subject pop off the screen. First, try to shoot on a longer lens, anywhere between a 50mm to a 100mm. This is more of a portrait style focal length that will really make your subject look great. Secondly, is try to get your camera slightly above the eye line of your subject. What this will do is it'll force your subject to actually have to look up at the camera, and this will just look a lot more flattering. Yes, low angles are cool, I'm a big fan of them, but when it comes time to beauty lighting and trying to make your subject look like $1,000,000, a low angle isn't the most flattering. You're sort of looking up at your subject's neck, and I've been on video shoots where the subject requested that the camera be higher just because they knew that made them look better. But yeah, that's it. This is, one of those lighting techniques that's good to keep in your back pocket. Not every project will call for this look, but if you are shooting a pop star or want to light your subject in the most flattering way possible, give this lighting technique a try.